Good morning, dear friend. The sky is barely awake, painted with strokes of lavender and gold. As the hush of dawn whispers across the earth, it is the sacred hour when the world has not yet roared to life, and heaven feels just a little closer. In this stillness, your soul may find what it has been searching for, not more noise, but clarity, not more motion, but meaning. And so, here we are, you and I, breathing in the quiet of a new day, and preparing to enter something deeper. Perhaps you have opened your eyes this morning with a heart that feels heavy. Maybe sleep did not bring the rest you hoped for. Maybe your chest tightens with thoughts of what lies ahead. There is a person, perhaps someone not unlike you, who wakes up every morning and sits at the edge of the bed, staring at the floor, trying to gather the strength to face the unknown. Their life once felt full of light, but now they are just trying to make it through. The job is uncertain. The diagnosis still echoes in their mind. The relationship they thought would last forever has grown cold, and silence now lives where love used to dwell. They are not faithless. They still believe somewhere deep inside. But they are tired of fighting battles no one else sees. Tired of showing up with a smile while feeling like they are unraveling inside. Tired of pretending to be okay when everything feels fragile. Maybe today, you are that person. If so, know this: you are not alone. Not in your struggle, not in your doubts, not in your fears. There is a presence stronger than pain, a love deeper than loss, a power certain than the questions swirling in your heart. That path begins not with figuring everything out, but with trusting the one who already has. This is the invitation today, not to perform, not to strive, but to walk with the God who goes before you. There is a kind of peace that does not come from understanding, but from surrender. There is a kind of strength that does not rise from muscle or willpower, but from the quiet decision to say, I will trust you, even here. When everything in you wants to run or retreat, there is power in standing still and lifting your heart toward the one who sees the end from the beginning. We are not stepping into a list of prayers. We are entering a conversation, a sacred dialogue between a soul in need and a God who never stops listening. These words are not meant to impress. They are meant to carry, to hold your sorrow, to lift your chin, to remind your spirit that even when you feel weak, you are being led by one who never falters. Today is not just another morning. It is a threshold. Behind you may be regret, delay, confusion, or fear. But before you lies something greater: divine clarity, healing, purpose, and the guidance of the one who never leaves. You may not know the path ahead, but you can know the one who goes before you. So breathe, let your shoulders drop, let your grip loosen. You do not need to carry what was never yours to hold. This is your moment to lean in, to open your heart like a window to the morning light, to whisper, even if only in your soul, I am ready, God, I am here. Let us begin this journey not with answers, but with openness, not with perfection, but with honesty. And as you listen or pray with me, May each word become a stepping stone, drawing you closer to peace, to hope, and to the tender, unwavering presence of God. Dear Heavenly Father, this morning, I come before you with a heart that does not pretend to be strong. I do not come with rehearsed words or polished faith. I come as I am confused, hesitant, and deeply aware of my own weakness. I woke today feeling the weight of questions I cannot answer. I opened my eyes and felt the fog of uncertainty settle over me like a thick blanket. The world outside is quiet, but inside me, there is noise. Thoughts clash. Doubts echo. Worries circle like birds looking for a place to land. I do not know what today holds, and that truth unsettles me more than I care to admit. I feel like I am standing on the edge of something I cannot name. The fog is thick. I cannot see the path forward. I cannot tell where solid ground begins or ends. It is like walking through a forest with no map, every branch whispering what if, every step laced with hesitation. I want to move, but I freeze. I want to believe, but I falter. I want to speak faith, but fear wraps itself around my voice and tightens. This is where I find myself, Lord, not in rebellion, not in anger, but in a quiet ache that longs for direction. There are decisions to be made. There are needs pressing from every side. There are people I love who are hurting. There are expectations I carry. Some spoken, others silently piled upon me. And in all of it, I am trying to be brave, trying to smile, trying to keep going. But you see deeper. You see the trembling behind my steps. You see the tears that do not always fall but wait just behind my eyes. You see the fight between what I know to be true and what I feel in this moment. And still, you do not turn away. So I come to you with this trembling soul. I bring you my fear of the unknown. I lay before you the heaviness I cannot shake. I am not asking for you to make everything easy. I am asking for you to walk with me through it. I am asking for you to go before me, because I do not know what is coming. I do not know what waits around the next corner or what hidden dangers might lie ahead. But I know that you are already there. That truth alone steadies me. I have tried to predict. I have tried to plan. I have asked others what I should do, but their answers fall short, and my own understanding is too limited. So I look to you, who carved the paths in the wilderness, you, who led your people with fire by night and cloud by day, you, who see the end before I even take my first step. If I must move forward, let it be behind you. If I must face uncertainty, let it be with the certainty of your presence ahead of me. There is comfort in knowing that I do not have to see everything clearly. There is peace in letting go of the pressure to have it all figured out. What I need today is not a perfect plan, but a perfect guide. And you, Lord, are faithful. You are steady when I am shaky. You are calm when I am chaotic. You are the one who knows the way because you are the way. And in this fog, I choose to reach for you. Help me to trust what I cannot see. Help me to lean not on my own understanding, but on the everlasting arms that had held generations before me. I may feel lost right now, but I am not abandoned. I may be unsure, but I am not unloved. I may be afraid, but I am not alone. Speak to me through the stillness. Let your whispers find me in the hush of this morning. Let them wrap around my heart like a blanket of peace. Even now, as I sit in the silence, I know you are working. You are going before me, not just to clear a path, but to prepare my heart. You are softening what is hardened. You are quieting what is anxious. You are reminding me that nothing I face today will surprise you. You already know what emails will come. You already know who I will meet, what choices I will face, what challenges I will encounter. You are not reacting to my life. You are leading it. So I let go of the illusion that I must be in control. I release the grip I have tried to keep on outcomes I cannot guarantee. I surrender the desire to fix what is beyond my reach. And I open my hands, not in defeat, but in trust. I am not asking for all the answers. I am asking for your presence. I am asking for the grace to take one step at a time. And if that step is small, let it be sacred. If that step is slow, let it be sure. As long as you are in it, I have what I need. You are the lamp to my feet, not the spotlight for my future. You promise to guide me, not to overwhelm me. You lead gently. You speak softly. You walk patiently beside me. And even when I stumble, even when I question, you do not let go. Your love is not fragile. Your grip is not weak. You hold me even here, even now, even in this fog. Thank you for being a God who does not demand perfection before you walk with us. Thank you for being patient with my hesitations and kind with my questions. Thank you for not rushing me through this moment, but sitting with me in it. And slowly, as the light begins to rise outside my window, I feel it rise in me too. A warmth, a quiet knowing, a breath that says, I am not alone, and for now, that is enough. Let the fog lift when it is time. Let the path be revealed when I am ready. But until then, let me follow the sound of your footsteps. Let me anchor my soul in the truth that you go before me, that I am not walking into the unknown alone, that even if I feel unsure, you are sure. Even if I am afraid, you are fearless. And even if I stumble, you will steady me again. So here I am, Lord, with everything I carry, with everything I fear, with everything I hope. Lead me through this morning. Lead me through this moment. Lead me forward. One breath, one step, one prayer at a time. Father, I cannot pretend today. I cannot smile through the weight I am carrying. I do not want to dress my pain in polite words or hide my brokenness beneath shallow prayers. I come to you raw, exposed, vulnerable. I come from a place that feels deep, dark, and heavy. This is not the surface of my struggle. This is the H beneath the H. The part of me that has cried when no one was watching. The part of me that screams silently while the world assumes I am strong. I come from that place now, and I bring it all to you without holding back. Sometimes the weight is too much to carry quietly. Sometimes the tears are not enough. There are days when breathing feels like a battle, when getting up feels like climbing a mountain, when the smallest task becomes overwhelming. That is today. That is where I am. And I need you. I need you in the mess. I need you in the silence. I need you in the part of me that has no words left, but still longs to be heard. You said that even groans too deep for words reach you. So here I am, not with eloquence, but with agony, not with wisdom, but with wounds. You know what I am facing. You know the thoughts I cannot silence, the fears that wake me in the night, the disappointments that weigh on my chest like bricks. You know how tired I am from trying to be okay when I am not. I am tired of pretending. I am tired of holding it together while falling apart inside. I am tired of smiling while bleeding. And I do not want to do it anymore without you. I need to know that you hear me here, in this deep place, in this real place. I am not angry at you. I am not blaming you. I just feel far from okay. And I do not want to run from you. I want to run to you. I want to collapse into your arms and be held. I want to tell you everything without being afraid that you will think less of me. I want to cry and not feel shame. I want to scream and know you can handle the sound. I want to tell you how alone I feel even when I am surrounded by people. I want to tell you how lost I feel even when everyone else thinks I am found. Sometimes it feels like you are far away. Not because I believe you are, but because my pain is loud. The pain screams louder than truth sometimes. It tells me I am forgotten. It tells me nothing will change. It tells me I am stuck. It tells me the best days are over and the worst is still ahead. But even as those lies try to take root, there is still a flicker in me that refuses to die. A flicker that says you are still good. You are still present. You are still able. And I want to fan that flicker into a flame. So I cry out to you, not with perfection, not with strength, just with honesty, just with the fragile hope that you are listening and that you care. You have rescued before. You have comforted before. You have lifted others out of dark places. And I believe you can lift me too, maybe not all at once, maybe not in the way I expect. But somehow, in some way, you can reach down into this pit and pull me up. You can whisper hope into my hollow places. You can remind me that my pain is not wasted and my story is not finished. I do not need everything fixed in this moment. I do not need every answer. I just need to know I am not invisible to you. I just need to know that my cries do not fall into an empty sky. I need to know that when I pour out my sorrow, you are not indifferent. I need to believe that you are collecting every tear, hearing every sob, and understanding every silence. You are not a distant deity. You are my Father, and fathers do not turn away when their children are hurting. They draw near. They lift. They carry. Draw near to me here. Let this be the moment when the heaviness begins to shift. Let this be the place where my soul starts to breathe again. Wrap me in your presence. Let me feel you like a hand on my back, like a whisper in my spirit, like a light breaking through the cracks. I do not need a miracle I can see. I need a miracle I can feel. I need you to meet me in this raw, unfiltered cry and hold me until I remember how to hope again. Sometimes all I can say is help. Sometimes all I have left is a whisper. And even then, you do not turn away. So I will whisper. I will whisper help. I will whisper please. I will whisper come. And I will believe that you are near, that you are leaning close, that you are already moving. Even if I do not yet see it, I will choose to believe that my desperation is not the end of my story, but the beginning of something sacred. Let this prayer not be lost in the noise of the world. Let it rise like incense. Let it reach the throne of mercy. Let it be the cry that heaven answers. I do not need grand gestures. I need real connection. I need real healing. I need real peace. I am not asking you to erase every scar. I am asking you to hold them, to make them part of something beautiful, to turn this morning into something deeper than joy, into purpose. I bring you my broken pieces, not asking you to return them untouched, but asking you to rebuild me with your hands. If tears are all I have to give, then let them be enough. If all I can do is collapse into your grace, then let that collapse be sacred. I will not shame my weakness. I will not pretend strength I do not have. I will simply be here, in this moment, fully yours, fully known, fully desperate for your touch. And if you speak, I will listen. If you are silent, I will still reach. If you move slowly, I will still stay. Because in this deep place, I know you are with me. You are not absent from sorrow. You are not afraid of grief. You are the man of sorrows, familiar with suffering, and you sit beside me now. That is enough for me today. That is enough to begin again. That is enough to rise, even if slowly, even if shakily. So I cry out not as a sign of defeat, but as an act of trust. I cry out because I believe you hear, because I believe you care, because I believe you are already moving. And so I will wait, I will trust, and I will let my cry lead me straight to you. Heavenly Father, as the light of this morning settles in, I pause and take a breath, not to run from the weight of life, but to remember what I often forget. I remember you, not the version I shape in my fear, but the God I have known in my journey. I remember the times you showed up when I thought all hope was lost. I remember the doors you opened when I saw only walls. I remember the strength you gave when mine had run out completely. I remember the miracles that came wrapped in silence, and the peace that settled in when nothing around me made sense. You have been faithful to me, not just in the big moments I share with others, but in the small, quiet ones that no one saw. You were with me on nights when the tears soaked my pillow and no one knew I cried. You sat with me in rooms filled with silence that felt louder than screams. You were the stillness when my thoughts raced. You were the shelter when I had no words. I have forgotten to thank you sometimes. I have moved forward too quickly. But today, I slow down. I turn around, I look back, and I remember. You were there when I did not know how I would make it. You were there when people walked away and I felt abandoned. You were there when I did not feel worthy of love or help, or even another chance. You were not disappointed in me. You did not give up. You waited with mercy. You carried me when I did not even know I needed carrying. You did not condemn my doubt. You met me in it. You did not shame my tears. You caught them. and that changes everything. You are not a distant memory. You are the same today. The same God who parted waters for the Israelites is the one who makes a way for me. The same God who met Hagar in the wilderness sees me in mine. The same God who raised Lazarus hears me when I feel like all is lost. The same hands that healed the blind are the hands holding my life. I forget sometimes. Not because I do not believe, because the noise of now can drown out the voice of remembrance. But you remind me gently. You call my heart back to what is true. You have done too much for me to give up now. You have brought me too far for me to believe you will suddenly disappear. You did not deliver me before just to abandon me now. You did not restore what was broken just to watch it fall apart again. You are not a God of halfway. You are the God who completes what you start. You are the God who finishes every good work. And I am still here because you are not done. So today, even if I am still waiting on answers, I will worship from memory. I will praise you not just for what I hope to see, but for what I have already seen. I will thank you not only for what I am praying for, but for what you have already done, because you have a track record of goodness in my life. You have a history of showing up. You have never failed me. Not once. Even when things did not turn out the way I expected. You were always working something better than I understood. Sometimes I think I need new miracles. But what I really need is to remember the old ones. The way you turned my fear into strength. The way you turned confusion into clarity. The way you turned loss into foundation. The way you took something broken and made something holy. When I could not find the way, you led me. When I could not hold on, you held me. When I could not believe, you were still faithful. I remember, Lord, and in that memory, I find peace. I am not starting from scratch today. I am walking into this morning with a God who has history with me, a God who knows my patterns, my battles, my victories, and my scars. And you still call me beloved. You still choose me. You still see purpose in me. I have made mistakes, but you have not changed. I have fallen short, but you have not walked away. I have wavered, but you remain constant. This is what I rest in, not my consistency, but yours. Let the story of what you have done become the foundation of my faith today. Let the memories of deliverance quiet the noise of doubt. Let the proof of your past power silence the fear that whispers about the future. I do not know what is coming, but I know what has been, and what has been is a testimony that cannot be erased. You have always been faithful. You have always been near, and that is enough to keep walking. I thank you for every moment I did not understand at the time but now see as a piece of grace. I thank you for the seasons that taught me to trust. I thank you for the no's that protected me. I thank you for the silence that shaped me. I thank you for the delays that preserved me. I thank you for not giving me everything I asked for, but always giving me what I needed. You have been wiser than my prayers and kinder than my expectations. Let my memory fuel my movement. Let what you have done push me toward what you will do. Let gratitude lead the way. Let thanksgiving be the sound my soul makes before any breakthrough even comes. Because even if nothing changes today, I have already seen enough to know you are good. Even if no miracle comes this morning, I have lived enough to say you are worthy. You have been my provider, my protector, my guide, my refuge, my hope, my joy, and my peace. And I will not forget. I hold onto those memories like anchors. I let them speak louder than fear. I let them steady my steps. And I will keep remembering every time I forget. I will keep returning to the evidence of your presence. I will not rewrite the past through the lens of pain. I will revisit it with the eyes of gratitude. You have always been working, even when I did not see it. And I believe you still are. So I walk forward today not with perfect faith, but with practiced memory. Not with certainty about the future, but with clarity about who has walked with me. I do not know the next step, but I know the footsteps behind me. And they all point to you. They all remind me that you are a God who finishes what you begin, a God who carries what I cannot, a God who stays even when everyone else leaves. And that God is with me right now. Father, this morning I come to you not just tired in body, but weary in spirit from carrying things I was never meant to hold. I have spent so much time trying to control what is beyond me, trying to plan what I can predict, trying to keep together what keeps slipping through my hands. I wake up with thoughts already racing, my mind reaching ahead into hours I have not lived yet, trying to manage outcomes and solve problems before they even arrive. But I am not built for that. I am not called to carry the full weight of what only you can hold. I confess, God, that sometimes I treat you as a helper, not a leader. I ask you to bless my plans instead of waiting for yours. I move and hope you will catch up. I take control and ask you to approve what I have already decided. But this is not surrender. This is fear disguised as strength. And the more I try to hold everything together, the more I realize how fragile I really am. I was not made to be my own guide. I was not created to bear the weight of the unknown alone. I was not designed to build my life on my own strength. So here I am, Lord, with my hands open and my grip finally loosening. I lay it down. I lay down my need to control every detail, every person, every outcome. I lay down the belief that if I just work harder, think longer, or worry more, I can somehow fix it all. I lay down the pressure to be everything for everyone. I lay down the fear that says if I am not in charge, everything will fall apart. Because the truth is, I have never really been in control, and things have not fallen apart in your hands. You have never asked me to be perfect. You have never expected me to have all the answers. You have only asked me to trust you, and yet I keep running ahead. I keep overthinking. I keep holding on out of fear that if I do not do it, it won't happen. But you are not asking me to fix it. You are asking me to follow. You are not demanding performance. You are inviting surrender. And I want to say yes to that. Teach me, God, how to release. Teach me how to breathe without holding the weight of tomorrow in my chest. Teach me how to let go without feeling like I am failing. Teach me how to stop managing every possibility and start trusting that you have already seen them all. Teach me how to rest, not because everything is resolved, but because I have placed it in your hands. Let my surrender be an act of worship, not weakness. Let it be my declaration of trust, not resignation. I bring you everything I have tried to control: my family, my future, my finances, my health, my relationships, my reputation, my timeline, my emotions, my dreams, my deadlines, my fears. I set them all down before you, not to abandon them, but to release them into more capable hands. I have seen what I can do with control. Now I want to see what you can do with surrender. I want to walk through this day lighter, freer, with my eyes on you instead of on every problem I cannot solve. You are not asking me to ignore responsibility. You are simply reminding me that responsibility is not the same as control. I can be faithful without being frantic. I can be diligent without being desperate. I can be committed without being crushed. Because I am not the one who holds the world. You are. And the world does not need me to be you. It needs me to follow you. Let me lead with trust today, not tension. Let me move with peace, not panic. Let me speak with calm, not control. Let me live like someone who knows they are being led, not someone who believes they must carry it all. Let that be visible in the way I show up, in the way I love others, in the way I breathe when the pressure builds. Let my posture be one of openness, not defense. Let my words be ones of release, not resistance. Let my life show the fruit of surrender, not an action, but freedom. It is a strange thing, this war between faith and fear. One tells me to trust. The other tells me to hold tighter. One whispers peace. The other shouts panic. And so often, I have listened to the louder voice. But today, I choose to quiet my soul. I choose to believe that peace does not come from control, but from confidence in who you are. I choose to believe that letting go is not losing ground, but gaining perspective. I choose to believe that surrender is not the end of power, but the beginning of grace. Even now, I can feel my shoulders relaxing. I can feel the weight shifting off of me, because in this moment, I remember that you are already ahead of me. You are already working where I cannot see. You are already holding what I have tried to grasp. And you do it without panic. You do it with love. You do it with purpose. So I release it to you again. And if I have to release it again in an hour, I will. And again tonight. And again tomorrow morning. Until surrender becomes second nature, until peace becomes my resting place. Help me not to pick up again what I have laid down. Help me not to return to the mindset that says my worth is in control, or that safety is in knowing everything. Help me to live like someone who trusts you to be God. Help me to stay close to you when things are uncertain, instead of trying to handle it all alone. You are the shepherd. I am the sheep. You are the guide. I am the one who follows. And that is not weakness. That is wisdom. So I take a deep breath and let you be who you are. I let you lead. I let you carry. I let you plan. And I will follow, one step at a time. Not perfectly, not always calmly, but honestly. I give you my need to figure it all out. I give you my anxious striving. I give you every clenched fist and tired thought. I trade them all for peace, for trust. For you, lead me gently, and I will follow. Hold my heart steady, and I will walk where you call. I will stop trying to be strong where I need to be still. I will stop trying to control what was never mine to hold. I will walk lighter, because I know who walks ahead. Father, this morning I come to you with a new awareness in my heart, not just a quiet need, a bold decision. I declare today that you are the one who leads me, not fear, not pressure, not circumstances, not expectations, not my own understanding. I do not want to simply drift into this day. I do not want to react to whatever happens. I want to be led. I want to be guided by your wisdom, your presence, and your peace. I do not just ask you to walk with me, I ask you to go before me. I declare that you are in front of me, not behind. I do not need to drag you into my plans. I need to align my plans with your steps. I do not need you to catch up with my pace. I need to match my pace to your rhythm. I do not ask you to follow where I go. I ask for the grace to follow where you have already prepared. I do not know what I will face today, but I choose to trust that you are already in every moment that waits for me. I place this day in your hands, not because I am giving up, but because I am choosing to begin with trust. I declare that this day belongs to you. Every conversation, every decision, every breath, you are the author, and I surrender my role as the director. I release the script I wrote in my head about how things should unfold. I release the schedule I thought I had to control, and I ask you to lead. Go before me into every room I will enter. Go before me into every word I will speak. Go before me into every challenge that may rise. I do not want to be surprised by life and then turn to you as a last resort. I want to enter each moment knowing you have already made a way. Even if the way is hard, even if the way looks different than what I hoped, even if the way is quiet and slow, I still want it to be yours. Lead me through tension with gentleness. Lead me through noise with clarity. Lead me through temptation with strength. Lead me through uncertainty with steady confidence. Let me feel your leadership not as control, but as calm, not as pressure, but as peace, not as something I need to fear, but as something I can rest in. You are not a tyrant. You are a shepherd. You are not forcing me. You are inviting me, and I say yes. I say yes to your way even when I do not fully understand it. I say yes to your timing even when I wish things would happen faster. I say yes to your path even when it does not look as comfortable as the one I imagined. Because I believe that where you lead, there is purpose. I believe that what you prepare is better than what I could plan. I believe that if I walk in your direction, I will arrive exactly where I am meant to be. Help me not to hesitate when you say go. Help me not to rush ahead when you say wait. Help me not to doubt when I cannot see the outcome. Let me trust that you are working even in the silence, even when nothing seems to move, even when prayers are still unfolding. Let me trust that following you is not about ease, but about being in the right place at the right time, with the right heart. Today, I declare that your voice is louder than fear, your peace is stronger than confusion. Your presence is more important than control. I choose to tune my spirit to your voice, not the voice of panic, not the voice of pressure, not the voice of comparison, not the voice of shame. I choose your voice, the one that speaks life, the one that speaks truth, the one that reminds me who I am and whose I am. I do not want to lead with emotion. I do not want to lead with insecurity. I do not want to lead with assumption. I want to walk behind you, even when that means letting go of what I thought was right, even when that means being still when I want to act, even when that means trusting what I cannot explain. Because every time I have followed my own way, I have ended up tired. I have ended up lost. I have ended up striving. And you have always been there, gently calling me back. So this morning, I stopped trying to figure it all out. I stopped carrying the weight of the day like it depends on me. I breathe, and I remember you are ahead of me. You are clearing the way. You are softening hearts I may meet. You are preparing answers I have yet to hear. You are placing provision where I will need it. You are shielding me from attacks I will never even know were aimed at me. You are not passive. You are active, and you are already moving. Let me walk with confidence, not because I am sure of the outcome, but because I am sure of you. Let me speak with courage, not because I know what will happen, but because I trust that you are guiding my words. Let me live this day, not by default, but by design, your design. Let my steps echo with obedience. Let my thoughts flow from faith. Let my actions reveal who I follow. You go before me, and that means I do not walk into an empty space. I walk into something already touched by your hands. You go before me, and that means I am not forging a path through chaos. I am following a trail of grace. You go before me, and that means I do not have to invent peace. I simply have to receive it. You go before me, and that means I can move without fear, because you are already where I am going. So let me begin this day with declaration, not dread. Let me rise with faith, not fear. Let me remember who leads me and live like that changes everything. I do not walk alone. I do not lead this life by myself. I am not a wanderer. I am not a guesser. I am not trying to make something happen. I am following the one who sees the full picture, the one who never missteps, the one who leads with love. And as I follow, let the fruit of your leadership be evident. Let there be peace where there was worry. Let there be clarity where there was confusion. Let there be softness where there was tension. Let there be joy where there was dread. Let others see in me what it looks like to be led by you. Not perfection, but presence. Not flawless execution, but a surrendered heart. That is what I want. That is what I choose. That is what I declare you lead, and I will follow. Father, this morning I wake up with a quiet battle inside. It is not always loud, but it lingers. It creeps in with every unanswered prayer, every unopened door, every dream that seems to be delayed. It whispers things that sound almost true words like forgotten, behind, too late. These voices do not scream. They suggest. They wear the disguise of logic and realism. And they have been trying to convince me that delay means denial, that waiting means failure, that hope is foolish. But I come to you now to silence every voice that is not yours. I confess that I have listened for too long. I have allowed the silence to shape my perspective. I have let waiting convince me that you must not be working. I have watched others move forward and questioned whether I have been left behind. I have carried disappointment like a second skin, and it has made me hesitant. I have doubted what you said because of what I do not yet see, but that ends now. I may not be able to control timing, but I can choose what voice I believe. And I choose to believe you. I rebuke every lie that says I have missed my chance. I rebuke the thought that it is too late for me to grow, to change, to rebuild, to be used. I rebuke the pressure that tells me I should be further ahead by now. I rebuke the comparison that makes me feel small when I look at someone else's timeline. You are not rushing me. You are refining me. You are not holding me back. You are holding me together. I do not walk by the clock. I walk by your spirit. Let every thought rooted in fear be broken. Let every pattern built on self-doubt be undone. Let every belief that leads me toward despair be replaced with truth. Truth that you are never late. Truth that you are never passive. Truth that you are not punishing me with delay, but preparing me with purpose. I may not understand the pause, but I trust the hand that placed it. You see beyond what I can reach. You know what is forming in the waiting. I speak against every assignment of defeat that has attached itself to my heart. Every voice that has tried to convince me to give up, to shrink back, to settle. I won't settle for bitterness when joy is still being written. I won't settle for resentment when peace is still unfolding. I won't give in to weariness when you are still writing my story. You are not done. You never stopped. Even when I stopped expecting. You never stopped preparing. So I call my hope back. I call my courage forward. I call my faith to stand up again. No more lying down in defeat. No more folding under the weight of what has not happened yet. This is not the end. This is not the end. This is not the end. I declare that over every unfinished place in my life. I declare that over every silent prayer, every closed door, every unanswered question. You are not finished, and I am not forgotten. Help me to stop measuring progress by what I can see. Help me to stop judging your presence by how fast things move. I do not want to worship momentum. I want to worship truth. And the truth is you are good. Even when things are slow, you are faithful. Even when I do not feel forward motion, you are close. Even when it feels like nothing is changing. I want to be anchored in that, not in outcomes. I want to find joy in trusting, not just in arriving. Let this be the day I choose to see delay as divine. Let this be the moment I stop accusing you of abandonment, when you are actually right here beside me. Let this be the turning point where I learn to wait with worship instead of worry. Let my stillness not be a signal of doubt, but a stance of trust. I do not have to make something happen. I just have to stay faithful to the place you have planted me until you say move. I won't rehearse old failures anymore. I won't repeat stories of almost and not yet as if they define me. I want to keep walking with the weight of disappointment pressed against my chest. I will breathe deeper today. I will believe more boldly today. I will pray like someone who knows you are still listening. I will move like someone who knows the path is being cleared even now. I will trust like someone who knows your timing is always on time. Speak louder than the lies, God. Drown out the voice that says I am stuck. Silence the whisper that says I am too far gone. Erase the echo of every voice that told me I would never see breakthrough. I choose to believe that you can do more in one moment of divine timing than I could do in a lifetime of striving. I choose to believe that no closed door is stronger than your hand. I choose to believe that if it is not open yet, then it is not time, and that is okay. I release the need to know when. I release the pressure to prove myself. I release the anxiety that creeps in when things feel still. Let me rest in the truth that growth often happens in silence. Foundations are laid in quiet. Roots deepen in darkness. Just because I can see it does not mean you are not doing it. You are building something beneath the surface. Something strong. Something lasting. Something worth the wait. Let me walk through this day with peace. Not panic. Let me speak from faith. Not frustration. Let me look at each moment not as a delay to endure, but as a part of your design. Every pause has a purpose. Every quiet space is an opportunity to draw near. Every closed door is protection or preparation. And if I will stop wrestling, I may start receiving. I declare that today is not a waste. I declare that this moment is not meaningless. I declare that what looks like delay is actually divine orchestration. I declare that you are working, even now, that you are opening the right doors, aligning the right connections, removing the wrong distractions, healing hidden wounds, building unseen strength. You are not absent. You are ahead. And I choose to believe that you go before me even in the wait. Let this be the day I stop listening to defeat. Let this be the day I stop bowing to delay. Let this be the day I speak with the authority you have placed in me, not the authority of my own power, but the boldness that comes from trusting the one who holds all things together. You are not late. I am not left behind. The promise still stands. The purpose is still alive, and my story is still unfolding in your hands. Heavenly Father, this morning, I do not ask you to take the valley away. I have asked that before. I have begged you to change the terrain, to flatten the mountains, to lift the shadows, to make the path easy. But today, I ask for something different. I ask for courage to walk through it. I ask for peace in the middle of it. I ask for confidence that comes not from avoiding hard places, but from knowing you are with me in them. There is a valley ahead of me, and I feel its weight before I even take the first step. It might be a conversation I have been dreading. It might be a diagnosis I have not shared. It might be a transition that feels more like loss than growth. It might be a season where joy is harder to access. Whatever the valley is, it stretches wide before me, and I pretend I do not feel its heaviness. But I will not let fear speak louder than faith. I do not walk into this valley alone. You go before me. You surround me. You walk with me. And that changes everything. That truth does not erase the pain, but it anchors me in it. That truth does not remove the struggle, but it steadies me in it. So I lift my head, even as my heart feels the weight. I move forward, not because I know what is ahead, because I know who holds what is ahead. I declare today that this valley is not my defeat. It is not a detour. It is not a punishment. It is part of the journey. It is sacred ground. It is where shadows fall, yes, but it is also where miracles often begin. You do some of your most beautiful work in hidden places. You shape character in silence. You grow strength where no one is watching. And even though this valley feels long, I will not rush through it if you are asking me to walk slowly. There is purpose here. There is preparation here. There is presence here. And if you have called me to this place, you will not abandon me in it. So I step in with trembling confidence, not because I am sure of myself, but because I am sure of you, not because I have all the tools, but because I know you will supply what I need as I move forward. My strength may not feel like enough, but your grace will meet me in every step. Remind me, Lord, that shadows only exist where there is light. The darkness I fear is not evidence of your absence, it is the shape of your hand shielding me from more than I know. Teach me to look for your presence instead of trying to escape discomfort. Teach me to trust your pace even when it is slower than mine. Teach me to find rest in knowing that valleys do not last forever. But while they do, they are not wasted. Let this valley refine me, not define me. Let it make me softer, not bitter. Let it grow in me a patience I did not know I needed. Let it deepen my roots so I do not topple in the next storm. Let it teach me that beauty does not only grow on mountaintops. Sometimes it blooms low to the ground, hidden between the rocks, in the places few notice but you always see. You are not afraid of what I will face here. You are not unprepared for what I will feel. So when fear starts to speak, remind me of your voice. When my mind imagines the worst, remind me of what you have already brought me through. When my knees shake, remind me of the strength that rises not from me, but from the Spirit within me. I will not shrink back. I will not run. I will walk through this with open eyes and a held heart. Some days I may cry while I walk. Some days I may need to pause. But even when the path is steep, I know you are placing every stone. You are lighting every step. You are carrying me when I grow too tired. You are speaking when the world goes silent. You are healing in ways I do not yet see. So I let the valley shame me into silence. I will talk to you in it. I will worship in it. I will listen closely. because I know that in the valley, your whisper becomes more clear. Let this be the day I stop avoiding the hard path. Let this be the moment I stop measuring my faith by how easy things feel. Let me embrace this part of the journey, trusting that you are doing something deep, something lasting, something that will matter long after this season ends. You are not wasting my time. You are not playing with my heart. You are building something solid beneath the surface. I trust that when I come out of this valley, I will not come out empty. I will come out wiser. I will come out more anchored. I will come out more compassionate. I will come out with stories of your faithfulness that I can carry into the next season. But until then, let me stay faithful here. Let me show up with my whole heart. Let me keep moving, one step at a time, trusting that you will provide what the next step needs. You are the shepherd, and I am the one who follows. You do not rush me through. You do not push me ahead. You walk beside me, slow and steady, present and patient. And that is what gives me courage. Not that the valley disappears, but that I am not walking it alone. Not that I know the outcome, but that I know you will still be with me at the other end. So I take this breath, I take this step, and I say yes to the journey, not because it is easy, but because you are worthy. I say yes to what you want to teach me here. I say yes to the quiet growth. I say yes to the parts of me you are healing. I say yes to the valleys that shape who I am becoming. I will not fear this shadowed place. I will name it holy ground, and I will walk forward with confidence that comes not from what I feel, but from who I follow. Father, this morning I come to you not only with questions, but with a heart ready to ask better ones. I used to come to you with lists of what I wanted. I used to measure your goodness by how many prayers were answered in the way I expected. But today, I lay those lists down. I am not here just to ask for answers. I am here to ask for alignment. Not for you to match my will, but for my heart to be molded to yours. I realize now that sometimes I have prayed with the wrong focus. I have asked you to open doors I was never meant to walk through. I have begged you to fix things that were never mine to hold. I have demanded clarity while refusing to trust. I have wanted control dressed up as peace. But you are not just a problem solver. You are a soul shaper. And I no longer want just solutions. I want transformation. I want to want what you want. Shift my heart, Lord. Shape my desires so they reflect your character, not my comfort. Show me where I have asked for things out of fear instead of faith. Show me where my prayers have been rooted in insecurity instead of identity. I do not want to chase things that will take me away from your path. I do not want to run after blessings that will burden me. If I am going to move, let it be because you led me, not because I was impatient or afraid of missing out. Align my thoughts with your wisdom. Align my choices with your timing. Align my emotions with your truth. I do not just want what looks good. I want what is good for me, even if it means saying no to things I once begged for, even if it means waiting longer, even if it means letting go of what I thought I could not live without. I want to be in step with you, even if the rhythm is slower than I planned. I know now that your yes is powerful, but so is your no. And when you close a door, it is not rejection, it is redirection. When you withhold, it is not cruelty, it is protection. Help me believe that again, especially on days when disappointment tries to blur the truth. Help me believe that you are not just listening to my words, but interpreting my heart. That you know what I am really asking for, even when I do not have the language for it. Let this be a morning where I trade assumptions for surrender, where I stop demanding answers and start seeking alignment, where I stop trying to get you to bless my plan and start trusting that you are forming one far better. I do not want to waste another day chasing after things that are not part of my purpose. I do not want to force open doors that would have harmed me. I want peace that comes from being exactly where you want me to be, even when the direction is unclear. I trust that you are not. You are never confused. You are never rushed. You are not making things up as you go. You see the end from the beginning. And when you ask me to be still, it is not because you have forgotten me, it is because you are fine-tuning what I cannot yet understand. Let that truth quiet the noise inside me. Let that truth soften the impatience that sometimes rises in my chest. Teach me to pray not just for what I want, but for what you want to grow in me. If you are using delay to build patience, let me welcome it. If you are using silence to deepen my faith, let me lean into it. If you are using challenge to sharpen my character, let me not resist it. I do not want a shallow walk with you. I do not want a faith that only thrives when things are easy. I want roots. I want depth. I want to walk in alignment, even when I do not get the outcomes I hoped for. Help me not to measure success by what happens outside me. Help me to notice the shift within me, the way I speak when fear tries to come close, the way I pause instead of rushing ahead, the way I love people who once hurt me, the way I stay steady when everything else feels uncertain. These are the signs of alignment. These are the moments where I know I am being transformed by your presence, not just comforted by temporary relief. I know that alignment might cost me things. It might cost me some opportunities, some relationships, some dreams I held onto tightly. But I would rather lose what was never mine than miss what you have for me. I would rather walk away from comfort than compromise my calling. I would rather be in your will and misunderstood than be celebrated for things you never asked of me. That is what I want now, not recognition, not resolution, but relationship. Let this be the day I stop trying to make everything make sense. Let this be the day I learn to rest in not knowing all the details. Let this be the day my prayers shift from why not yet to what are you doing in me. I do not want to walk ahead of you. I do not want to drag you into my story. I want to fall into step with what you have already written. I want to be in alignment more than I want to be in control. So search my heart. Remove what does not belong. Correct what has drifted. Clarify what has become cloudy. If there are motives that need refining, refine them. If there are ambitions that need redirecting, redirect them. I trust you more than I trust myself. I believe you see further, deeper, clearer than I ever could. And that belief frees me. That belief lifts the pressure I have carried for too long. Thank you for never abandoning me while I wrestled with my own will. Thank you for being patient when I pushed my plans ahead of yours. Thank you for whispering truth even when I tried to pretend I had everything figured out. And thank you for calling me back, not with condemnation, but with love. I feel it now. The call to slow down. The invitation to realign. The gentle reminder that I do not have to strive to be in the right place. I only have to trust you to lead me there. I open my hands again. I open my heart again. I say yes not just to the answer I want, but to the transformation I need. Yes to the process. Yes to the pruning. Yes to the presence that changes everything. Keep aligning me. Even when it stretches me, keep shaping me. Even when I do not understand, keep leading me. Even when I am unsure of the path. I want what you want. Trust what you want for me is already better than anything I could imagine for myself. Heavenly Father, this morning, before the rush begins and before the noise takes over, I choose to be still, not because everything is calm, but because stillness is where I find you most clearly. I come to this quiet space not to escape the world, but to face it with a steadier heart. I know what it is like to move fast out of fear, to act quickly because I am anxious, to fill every moment just to avoid feeling the uncertainty. But today, I do something different. I sit with you. I breathe deeper. I release the need to fix, to prove, to perform. I choose stillness not as weakness, but as worship. I admit, God, that stillness is hard for me. It feels unnatural. It feels vulnerable. I have often believed that if I am not doing something, I am falling behind. That if I do not act, I will miss something. That if I am not pushing forward, I am somehow failing. But you remind me that stillness is not the absence of progress. It is the evidence of trust. It is the space where fear loses its grip and your voice becomes clearer. And I need that now. I need to hear you more than I need to be heard. Teach me to value silence again. Teach me to pause not just with my body, but with my mind. Quiet the racing thoughts that demand answers and outcomes. Quiet the planning and the second guessing. Quiet the inner critic that tells me I am not doing enough. Let this be the hour where I remember I am already loved. I am already held. I am already covered. I do not have to hustle for what you have already promised. In the stillness, show me what matters. Show me what I have been holding onto that does not serve your purpose for me. Show me where I have been rushing ahead of you, trying to write a story you have not given me yet. Show me the places where I have mistaken business for purpose, where I have filled my schedule but neglected my soul. Let this quiet moment reveal what noise has been covering. I want to become someone who does not fear stillness, someone who does not associate waiting with failure, someone who does not measure progress by how much is happening on the outside. I want to become someone who believes that healing happens in slow, quiet spaces, that strength is formed in unseen moments, that clarity often arrives not when I force it, but when I finally stop striving. You have never been in a hurry with me. You have walked patiently through every season. You have never rushed me out of grief. You have never hurried me through doubt. You have let me bring my mess, and you have sat with me in it. So now, I want to return the trust. I want to be still, not because everything is okay, because I know I am not alone in the waiting. You are here, in the silence. You are not anxious. You are not pacing the floor. You are steady, and I want to be steady with you. Stillness reminds me that I am not in control. It teaches me to release what I cannot fix, to stop rehearsing worst-case scenarios, to stop performing for peace. In this still moment, I surrender again, not because I have run out of options, but because I am learning that surrender is the first and best one. I give you my thoughts. I give you my restlessness. I give you my impatience. And I wait not for an answer, but for your nearness. There is something sacred in this pause, something healing in simply being present. Let me find peace here. Let me find strength that is not loud but lasting. Let me find reminders that you are still working. Even when I do not feel it, let me stop treating this quiet as wasted time. This is where roots grow deeper. This is where faith becomes real. This is where my heart learns the rhythm of grace. If stillness is where you speak, then help me become a better listener. If stillness is where you move, then help me stop moving long enough to notice. If stillness is where trust is formed, then help me stay long enough for it to take root. I do not want to live a life that is always reaching, always reacting, always running. I want to learn the art of staying, of breathing, of letting your timing unfold without forcing it. You are not impressed by how much I accomplish today. You are drawn to how much I trust you. And if trust looks like stillness, then let me lean into that. Let me rest in the truth that I do not have to earn what is already mine. I do not have to chase what you have already prepared. I do not have to shout to be heard by the God who listens, even to my silence. I give you this moment, not to get something, but to remember who I am and who you are. I am loved. You are enough. I am held. You are steady. I am tired. You are strong. I am unsure. You are certain. I am waiting. You are working. Let these truths settle in like a gentle wave over everything that feels or rushed or restless in me. Let this moment reset my heart and quiet my mind. As I sit here, I realize the world will keep spinning whether or not I do. That peace does not come from knowing everything, but from knowing I am not alone in anything. That stillness is not the absence of pressure, it is the presence of perspective. And when I stop long enough to hear it, I can feel your love reaching deeper than my doubts, louder than my fears, stronger than the noise. Let me take this stillness with me today. Let it walk beside me into every room, every conversation, every decision. Let it be the grounding force when things feel chaotic. Let it be the gentle reminder that I am not here to prove anything. I am here to be present with you. I can move, but I do not have to rush. I can act, but I do not have to force. I can trust, because I have learned how to be still. And if I lose this peace throughout the day, bring me back to it. Bring me back to this sacred pause. Bring me back to the breath that reminds me I am safe. Bring me back to the awareness that I am not walking alone, because stillness is not just a morning habit, it is a heart posture. And I want my heart to stay in step with you. Quiet, open, and at rest. Father, this morning, I come to you because I need to strengthen the voice inside me that still believes. I do not need more noise. I do not need more advice. I do not need another list of things to fix. I need the still, steady voice of faith to rise again. The voice that says you are with me. The voice that remembers what you promised. The voice that refuses to surrender to fear or fatigue. I have let other voices grow louder lately, the voices of doubt, of pressure, of comparison, of disappointment. But today I choose to quiet them and make room for the one that calls me back to truth. I admit it, God. Sometimes the loudest voice is the one that tells me I am not enough, that I am too late, that I should have done more by now, that I am falling behind in places I do not even understand, that others are doing better, going faster, living stronger. And even though I know those thoughts are not from you, they still settle in if I do not speak against them. So I am here to speak with you, to let my spirit speak again with hope, with trust, with faith that is rooted in who you are and not what I feel. Let your voice be the one that defines me today. Let it be the one that guides how I see myself, how I show up, how I speak into the world around me. Let it remind me that I am not fragile when I am grounded in you, that I am not broken beyond use, that I am not walking through life without purpose or direction. You speak life. And I need to hear life again, not just on the outside, but deep within me, deep enough to rebuild what has been worn down by discouragement and delay. Remind me, Lord, that the voice of faith does not shout. It does not demand attention. It whispers. It waits. It stands quietly even when everything else moves. I want that voice to grow stronger than the one that doubts. I want that voice to shape the way I carry myself through today. I want it to lead the way when my thoughts start spiraling. I want to learn to listen to it again, not just in the morning, but in every moment where fear tries to take control. Help me build that voice, God, not by pretending to be stronger than I am, but by remembering who holds me, not by ignoring what is hard, but by holding tightly to what is true. You have never let me go. You have never changed your mind about me. You have never stopped believing in what you have placed inside of me. Even when I have questioned everything, you have remained. Even when my faith wavered, your faithfulness stood tall. So I choose today to feed the voice of faith with what is real, not with fear-driven predictions, but with your promises. I will speak what I know even when I do not feel it yet. I will say, you are good. I will say, you are for me. I will say, you are leading. I will say, this season has a purpose. I will say, I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. I will say it until my heart catches up, until my doubts grow smaller and my confidence grows steady again. Let this be the day I stop agreeing with lies. Let this be the moment I stop echoing thoughts that only bring shame or fear. Let my inner voice speak with courage. with kindness, with compassion. Let it speak to me like you would, not with condemnation, but with clarity, not with harshness, but with hope. Teach me to speak to myself the way you speak to me, with patience, with truth, with unwavering love. I need that, God. I need to be reminded of what you have already brought me through, of how many times I thought I could not go on, and yet I did, of how many times I doubted I was enough, and you showed me I never had to be not without you, of how many times I listened to fear, and you gently pulled me back to trust. That is the voice I want to follow, the one that reminds me that nothing is too far gone, that nothing is too broken, that no moment is beyond redemption. Let my words carry that same strength today. Let my tone reflect faith even when I feel uncertain. Let my prayers rise from a place of quiet boldness, not desperate, but sure. Let my decisions be shaped by confidence in who you are, not anxiety about what might happen. Let my posture be one of peace, because the voice of faith does not panic. It breathes. It remembers. It rests in the truth that you are not only with me, but for me. When I feel weak today, let that voice remind me that your strength is made perfect in my weakness. When I feel like giving up, let it remind me that you never will. When I feel unsure, let it anchor me in the simple truth that I am still yours, that I am still covered, that I am still on the path you have prepared. And even if I can see every step ahead, I can trust the next one because you are there. I do not want to be driven by fear anymore. I do not want to follow every anxious thought. I do not want to chase validation or approval or answers that do not satisfy. I want to live from the inside out. I want to let the voice of faith lead me not into perfection, but into peace, into purpose, into presence, into a way of living that is steady even when life is not. Thank you for putting that voice inside me, for giving me a spirit not of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Let that truth rise up every time doubt tries to return. Let it silence the lies. Let it echo louder than insecurity. Let it fill the space where fear once lived. I will speak it. I will sing it. I will whisper it to myself if I have to. I will let that voice grow stronger every single day until it becomes the loudest one I know. Because that voice is not mine alone. It is the echo of your spirit reminding me who I am. It is the song of heaven telling me I am not done. It is the gentle call back to faith when I wander. And I will answer it. I will follow it. I will let it guide me through this day and into everything you have waiting for me. Father, this morning I come to you not just as someone who believes, but as someone who has been hurt by the weight of waiting. I bring to you a heart that still flinches at the word delay, a heart that has been stretched too thin by expectations that never came to life, by doors that stayed shut, by hopes that were placed carefully but never fulfilled. I do not come to hide that pain from you. I come to place it in your hands, because you are the only one who truly understands what it feels like to hope for something with all your heart, watch time pass without an answer. I have felt the sting of disappointment when prayers felt unanswered, when dreams felt delayed for so long they started to decay, when joy felt like something for someone else. And I have tried to be brave. I have told myself to move on. I have told others I am fine. But in this still moment with you, I admit what I have not said out loud. I have been discouraged. I have wondered why it happened for them and not for me. I have carried silent questions that no one sees but you. I am not bitter, God, but I am bruised. I have walked with faith through storms before, but there are parts of me now that feel tired. Tired of trusting when nothing changes. Tired of showing up strong when inside I feel forgotten. Tired of pretending that the delay has not hurt my hope. So I lay it all before you, not to accuse, not to demand, but to ask for healing. Not just for the outcome I once prayed for, but for the ache that grew in its absence. Touch the places in me that disappointment hardened. Heal the corners of my heart that slowly learned to expect less. Restore the hope I tried to protect by making it smaller. I do not want to become numb to what I long for. I do not want to give up on the things you placed in me, just because they took longer than I imagined. Help me remember that delay does not mean denial. That waiting does not mean abandonment. That silence is not the same as absence. You know what I have carried. You saw me when I smiled through the sadness. You heard the unspoken prayers I whispered as I laid awake at night. You noticed when I started hesitating to hope again. You saw when I chose silence, because I did not want to hear more advice or be told to just be patient. And through it all, you did not walk away. You did not grow tired of my wariness. You stayed. And now I need you more than ever. Let today be the start of new healing, not because everything has changed, but because I am willing to bring my whole self to you again. Even the disappointed parts, even the frustrated parts, even the quiet, hurting places that I thought were too small to matter. You care about it all. You do not rush me through the process. You do not demand that I bounce back. You invite me to rest in you while you do the restoring. Teach me how to trust again, not in a perfect outcome, but in your perfect heart. Teach me how to hope again, not with fear, but with faith. Teach me how to wait again, not with exhaustion, but with expectation. And teach me how to believe again, not in what I see, but in who you are. You are not the God of broken promises. You are the God of redemptive timing. You are not teasing me with what could be. You are preparing me for what will be. Help me to see this delay differently. Help me to believe there was protection in the pause, that maybe I was not ready yet, or maybe what I asked for was not ready for me. Help me to see that growth was happening in the waiting, even when it felt like nothing was moving. That maybe you were building something deeper in me, something that success could never build, something that shortcuts could never produce. I do not want to just be healed of disappointment. I want to walk with hope again. I want to dream again without flinching. I want to pray again without doubting. I want to believe again without guarding my heart so tightly. Show me how. Show me how to speak life into places where I used to only rehearse pain. Show me how to stand in faith again, even if my knees still shake. Let this be the day I stop punishing myself for feeling sad. Let this be the day I stop hiding the fact that I was hurt by the weight. Let this be the day I look up again with soft eyes and an open heart. Let this be the day I stop fearing that hope will break me. Because real hope does not disappoint. Real hope is not about outcomes, it is about presence. Your presence. You have never left me, even when I pulled away. You have never stopped caring, even when I questioned your timing. You have never stopped working, even when I could not see it. And now, I want to lean back into that truth, not with pressure, to feel instantly healed. With peace that healing is already happening. I want to learn again how to rest, even while waiting, how to smile, even while uncertain, how to rejoice, even before the breakthrough comes. Remind me that joy is still for me, that goodness and mercy still follow me, that the story is not over just because a chapter was hard. Help me to stop measuring my life by delays and start measuring it by your faithfulness. Every breath is proof that you are not finished. Every sunrise is a reminder that you are still writing. Every moment I feel you near is evidence that what I need most is already here, you. So today I surrender not just my prayers, but my disappointment. I give you my trust again, even though it was bruised. I give you my dreams again, even though some feel buried. I give you my hope again, even though it feels fragile, because I would rather trust you with my pain than carry it alone. I would rather risk hoping again than settle for a heart that no longer expects beauty. Let this day be a turning point, not because everything changes, but because I choose to believe you are still in it. Still faithful. Still good. Still holding me. And still healing what I never thought would heal. Let this be the day my heart begins to lift again. Let this be the moment I learn that healing does not come from answers. It comes from you, and you are here. Father, this morning I come to you with a different kind of prayer. I am not just asking for the end goal. I am not just praying for the finish line. I am here to bless the journey itself. Because for too long, I have been waiting to feel thankful until I see results. For too long, I have placed joy at the end of the road, never realizing how much beauty I have missed along the way. Today, I want to recognize the sacredness of this process, not just where I am going, but every step it takes to get there. I have spent a lot of time asking for breakthroughs, for answers, for victories. But I realize now that so much of your work is happening in the in-between. The lessons, the stretching, the pruning, the quiet strengthening. They are not wasted. They are holy. They are yours. And I do not want to wait until I arrive somewhere to begin giving thanks. I want to bless the ground I am walking on right now. I want to speak gratitude over the mess, the progress, the uncertainty, and even the parts I do not yet understand. This journey is not always easy. Sometimes it is slow. Sometimes it is lonely. Sometimes it is full of detours and delays and places where I feel lost. But even in all of that, you are present. You are guiding. You are shaping something inside me that can't be rushed. So today, instead of asking when I will arrive, I ask for eyes to see where I am, to notice how far I have already come, to bless what you are doing now, not just what I hope you will do later. Thank you for the hidden victories along the way. The moments I did not fall apart when I could have. The days I kept showing up when no one saw me. The strength I did not know I had until I had to use it. Thank you for the growth that did not make headlines but changed me quietly and deeply. Thank you for the small steps, the slow healing, the quiet mornings where you met me with mercy before the world even woke up. Let me see this journey as valuable, not just a path to something better, but something beautiful in itself. Help me not to resent the pace. Help me not to compare it with others. Help me not to believe that joy only lives in future accomplishments. Let me feel it now. Let me recognize the peace that comes not from arrival, but from being present with you in the movement. Teach me how to be content while still moving forward. Teach me how to celebrate progress, even if it is imperfect. Teach me how to bless this exact season, with all its tension and transition. I do not want to live in a constant state of almost there. I do not want to keep delaying joy until I think I have earned it. Let this moment be enough. Let this season be worthy of gratitude, not because everything is perfect, but because you are in it. You are not just at the end of the road. You are walking beside me now. You are in the questions I still carry. You are in the choices I make today. You are in the conversations, the quiet, the movement, the waiting. And because you are here, this moment is not empty. It is not in between. It is not something to rush through. It is sacred. It is blessed. It is filled with purpose. Forgive me for the times I have missed you by looking too far ahead. For the times I have looked at today and only seen what is missing instead of what is unfolding. For the times I have dismissed small beginnings and quiet faithfulness. You see every moment. You count every tear. You treasure every act of obedience, even the ones no one else notices. And that means nothing is wasted. I bless this day, not because it will be easy, but because it will be real, because it holds new mercies, because it gives me another chance to grow, to forgive, to choose love, to breathe deeply and believe again. I bless the steps I take, the people I meet, the words I speak. I bless the tasks ahead of me, no matter how ordinary they seem, because in your hands, the ordinary becomes holy. In your presence, even the mundane becomes meaningful. I choose to walk through this day with open hands, not clinging to what I think should happen, not fighting for control, but receiving each moment with a heart that trusts you are doing something good, even if I can't see it clearly yet, even if it is quiet, even if it does not look like progress. I trust that if you are leading, then every step matters. Let me find joy in the pauses, in the conversations, in the routine. Let me slow down enough to hear you in the details. Let me remember that blessings do not always come wrapped in celebration. Sometimes they look like peace in the middle of chaos. Sometimes they sound like a deep breath after a long week. Sometimes they are found in the strength to keep going, the courage to begin again, or the grace to let go. This journey is shaping me. It is changing how I see you. It is showing me how deep your patience runs, how vast your love is, how steady your presence remains. And I do not want to overlook that. I do not want to miss the miracle of what is happening here. And now, so I bless it. I name it holy. I walk into today not with the burden of what must be accomplished, but with the awareness of what is already being written. Thank you for the grace to move forward without knowing everything. Thank you for the strength to stay grounded even when life feels uncertain. Thank you for walking with me through every mile, every hour, every lesson. I wait until things are finished to be grateful. I will praise you now. I will bless this path. I will honor the process, because I know you are in it. Every step, every moment, every breath you are here. And that is more than enough. Today I wake with the weight of things I cannot fix. Not everything around me makes sense, and not everything within me feels strong. There are broken pieces I keep trying to hold together, and some days I pretend they do not exist at all, but I bring them to you now because hiding never healed anything. I bring you the mess, the confusion, the aching parts of me that I do not know how to name. And I ask you to sit with me in the middle of it, not just to fix it, but to be near me through it. Sometimes, I get so caught up in trying to make things better that I forget you did not ask me to do everything. You just asked me to trust you with what I have, and what I have this morning may not be pretty or perfect. It may be weary and worn, unsure and uneven, but it is mine. And I offer it to you fully without pretending, without cleaning it up, without waiting for a more convenient time. Because if you only met me in the tidy moments, I would never know your mercy in the chaos. There are people I want to help but do not know how. There are situations I want to change but can't. There are questions I keep asking without getting the answers I hoped for. So instead of carrying the pressure to fix what I cannot fix, I lay it down, not in defeat, but in faith. I place it all at your feet, the burdens I was never meant to bear alone. I do not need to pretend I am strong today. I just need to remember that you are. You do not ask me to carry everything. You do not ask me to figure it all out. You ask me to come close, to be honest, to show up even when I am trembling. So here I am again, in this quiet moment, asking you to be the peace I can manufacture on my own. Let me breathe deeply and know you are still God. Let me stop trying to outrun my pain and instead let you walk me through it, one step at a time. I release the urge to control what is not mine. I release the guilt I have held onto for too long. I release the pressure to be everything for everyone. And in that release, I make space for rest, for healing, for grace. I am learning that healing does not always look like instant answers. Sometimes it looks like trust built in silence. Sometimes it is found in moments that feel ordinary, but are soaked in unseen strength. Thank you for meeting me here, not just in my victories, but in my vulnerability. Thank you for never flinching when I fall apart. Thank you for knowing me fully and loving me anyway. Thank you for never leaving when life gets messy. Thank you for your tenderness that wraps around me like morning light. I may not have the solution to today's problems, but I have you, and that is already enough. Please teach me how to walk gently with what hurts, not to ignore it, not to rush it, but to carry it with honesty and with you beside me. Teach me that strength does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers in the way I keep going. Sometimes it shows up in quiet resilience, in silent prayers, in small choices to keep showing up. Let me not despise the quiet strength that does not get attention, but carries me through. Help me not to miss the beauty in this moment just because it is not what I expected. Let me hold both grief and gratitude in the same breath. Let me acknowledge what is broken without losing sight of what is still good. Let me be human and hopeful at the same time. I do not want to deny my sadness, but I also do not want to drown in it. I want to feel it, hold it, and then hand it to you, because I know you can carry what I cannot. I choose to trust that you are still writing something beautiful, even when it feels like nothing is moving. I choose to believe that behind every delay, there is purpose. Behind every silence, there is care. Behind every pain, there is a deeper invitation to come closer. You are not far away from those who suffer. You are close to the brokenhearted. You weep with those who weep, and you rebuild what has been torn. So I ask you to begin again in me today, not in the way that fixes everything overnight, but in the way that renews my spirit, in the way that brings breath to dry places, in the way that softens what has become hard and closed. I ask you to make something new, not necessarily outside me, but within. A new thought, a new hope, a new way of seeing what I once considered hopeless. Let that be enough for now. You are not rushed. You are not surprised by what today holds. You have already gone before me, and you are walking beside me. So I step into this day not with answers, but with assurance, not with a map, but with trust. I may not know what the next hour will bring, but I know who holds every hour. And because of that, I can breathe again. I can live this day not in fear, but in faith, not in desperation, but in dependence on you. Let this moment be a turning point, not because my circumstances change, but because my posture does. I am not clinging to certainty. I am holding on to you. I am not demanding clarity. I am resting in connection. Let that be the anchor that holds me today, the knowledge that you see me, that you are with me, and that nothing I face will ever separate me from your love. Let me walk forward not because I feel ready, but because I know I am not alone. Father, there is a trembling in my spirit this morning, not of fear, but of reverence, because I am beginning to sense how near you truly are. Not just above me, not just watching from a distance, but here, with me, in the silence before the world stirs. I feel you between each breath I take, and though my circumstances have not changed, something within me has begun to shift. There is a quiet strength rising in my soul that I know does not come from me alone. It is you. Father, you are the one lifting me. Today, I need to bring you something I rarely speak of out loud. My battles with temptation and the hidden wars I fight when no one is watching. The kind of struggle that surfaces in the late hours of the night, or in moments when I am weary and my guard is down. The kind of struggle that leaves me ashamed afterward, wondering why I fell again into what I promised you I had left behind. These are not just habits. Father, they are weights, entanglements, chains and they are heavy. So I bring them to you not with excuses, but with a longing to be free. You have seen the moments I have chosen silence when I should have spoken truth. You have witnessed the anger I have justified as righteous when it was truly rooted in pride. You have been there when I pretended to be okay, hiding behind smiles, hiding even from myself. And still, you never turned away. You never closed the door. You stayed. You waited. You whispered grace into my shame, hope into my darkest nights. You reminded me that even in failure, I am still yours. Lord, what a mystery that is that you are not repelled by my mess, but drawn into it with compassion, that you do not condemn me, but invite me to rise again. There is no one like you. You are not a judge with a gavel in hand, but a shepherd calling me back, even when I wander far. And so today, I do not come as a proud soul trying to earn your approval. I come as a child who has fallen but knows the way back is through your arms. In my weakness, I am beginning to discover something sacred. That grace is not only for the beginning of faith, but for every stumbling step after. I thought you wanted perfection from me, but what you really want is honesty. You want my heart, not my image. You want surrender, not performance. And so I lay down the act. I stop pretending. I confess not just my failures, but my need for you every moment, every hour. I am not strong enough to be righteous on my own. I was never meant to be. Father, give me a hatred for the things that destroy me, and a love for the things that bring me life. Let my appetite change. Let my desires be rewired. Touch the roots of what pulls me away from you, and dig them out. Heal me not just at the surface, but in the deepest places, the places even I avoid. Teach me that true strength is independence, not in stubborn willpower. That holiness begins with humility, not with rules. Your word says that no temptation has overtaken us except what is common to man, and that you always provide a way out. Help me see the escape route. Help me take it. Remind me in the moment of decision that freedom is not a distant dream, but a promise you stand behind. You are not asking me to overcome alone. You are asking me to trust, to lean on you, to walk one step at a time, hand in hand with the one who conquered sin and death. There have been days I did not believe I could change, days I labeled myself with my failures, days I thought, this is just who I am. But you are rewriting my story. You are breaking the cycle. You are declaring over me a new name, a new nature, a new beginning. And though it may take time, though the process may stretch me, I will hold on to what you say is true. I am not who I was. I am becoming who you say I am. Let the old things fall away. Father, let the ashes be swept aside. I do not want to keep carrying what you already nailed to the cross. I want to walk in the light. I want to live as someone redeemed, not just in word, but in practice. Let my thoughts be renewed. Let my steps be aligned with truth. Let my heart become tender to conviction and quick to repent. And let joy real, radiant joy return to me as I walk in your ways. You are not distant in my struggle. You are my deliverer, and you are with me now. So I breathe deep, I open my hands, and I say yes again. Yes to healing. Yes to transformation. Yes to your spirit forming Christ in me day by day. And even if I fall again, I will rise again, because your grace is not exhausted, and your love is not fragile. You are more faithful than I have ever been, and you are not finished with me yet. Heavenly Father, I come before you this morning with a heart that feels both weary and eager, weary from the burdens I have carried for so long, and yet eager because deep within me, there is a whisper of hope that maybe today, something will change. Maybe today, you will meet me in a new way. Maybe today, I will feel the weight lift and sense you holding me in the places that ache the most. There are moments, Father, when I walk through the day as if I am invisible, not only to the world, but even to myself. I have lost track of who I was before the disappointment settled in, before the dreams began to crumble at the edges. But even in this fog, I know you see me. You always have. You saw me in the womb, and you see me now tired, confused, yet still showing up to pray. That has to mean something to you, does not it? That even in my exhaustion, I still choose you. Sometimes I feel like the Israelites wandering in the wilderness, going in circles, seeing the same dry land over and over again, wondering if there is a promised land at all. But you, Father, were the cloud by day and the fire by night. You did not remove the wilderness. You walked with them through it. And so, I ask not for escape, but for awareness. Let me see the cloud again. Let me feel the warmth of the fire as night falls. Let me recognize the signs that you are, in fact, here. Help me surrender control not just with my lips, but with my hands, with my heart, with my mind. That one stops spinning. The more I try to fix, the more tangled everything becomes. But when I release it all to you, something shifts. Even before the outcome changes, my spirit finds rest. Because surrender does not mean I have failed, it means I have trusted. It means I believe you can carry what I cannot. I remember the woman who touched the hem of Jesus' robe. She did not need a sermon or a spotlight. She just needed a moment, a touch, and it changed everything. That is what I ask for this morning. Father, just one real moment with you. Let me reach out, trembling and desperate as I am, and let me encounter the power that heals, the presence that sees, the love that never runs dry. Forgive me for the times I have doubted you, not because you were not good, but because the pain screamed louder than my faith. You have never stopped being faithful. Even when I wandered, you kept the door open. You waited at the edge of the road, like the father, watching for the prodigal. You did not shame me. You did not turn away. You ran toward me when I could not even walk. And for that, I am overwhelmed. There is something about mornings that feels sacred, as if heaven leans in closer when the world is still waking up. I feel that now, as if you are sitting beside me, waiting not for perfect words, but for honest ones. So I bring you my rawness. I bring you the ache I do not even understand. I bring you the tears that fall before I can name them. I bring you the parts of me that still need healing. Teach me to find you in the ordinary, in the way the sunlight filters through the window, in the sound of a quiet breath, in the small victories like choosing kindness when I am angry, or getting out of bed when I did not want to. Let me see that you are not only in the thunder and miracles, but also in the soft unfolding of daily grace. Renew my courage. Father, not a loud, showy bravery, but the quiet kind that keeps going. The kind that picks up broken pieces and says, "Let us try again." I need that. I need the kind of courage that believes you are working, even when I can see it. That whispers, "Don't quit." When everything in me wants to give up, surround me with reminders of your promises. Let Scripture come alive to me again. Let your words be water to my dry spirit. When I am tempted to believe that I am alone, remind me that you are Emmanuel, God with us. When I forget who I am, remind me that I am yours. When fear tries to steal my peace, speak truth louder than the lies. You are the anchor in my storm, the shepherd in my confusion, the refuge in my unrest. You are not a faraway deity who needs to be impressed. You are a loving Father who delights in being near. Help me to believe that you like me, not just love me. That you enjoy my company. That you look forward to these quiet moments as much as I do, even as the world spins fast and chaos knocks at the door. Build in me a stillness that comes from knowing you, not a stillness that ignores reality, but one that rests in a greater truth, that you are above it all, and yet intimately present in it all. That nothing is wasted, not my waiting, not my tears, not even my brokenness. So I will breathe deeply now, not because everything is fixed, but because you are with me in this breath. I will step into the day, not because I have all the answers, but because I walk with the one who does. I will keep praying, not because I have perfect faith, but because I trust in your perfect love. Father, I come before you with a heart that feels stretched thin by the weight of decisions, expectations, and invisible pressures that seem to pull me in directions I never asked to go. In the silence before the world stirs awake, I lay my thoughts bare at your feet, because they are too much for me to carry alone. I know you see through the clutter in my mind, the tangled worries, the what-ifs, and the why-nots. And in the midst of this quiet hour, I ask you to be my compass again. You know how often I have stood at crossroads unsure which way to go. My confidence falters not because I lack desire, but because I am afraid of choosing wrongly. Sometimes I hesitate not out of rebellion, but out of fear. And sometimes I rush ahead not from faith, but from restlessness. I do not want to be driven by anxiety disguised as urgency. I long to hear the stillness of your voice guiding me, not the noise of doubt echoing from every direction. You remind me that your peace is not in the absence of decision, but in the presence of your presence. I do not need neon signs or dramatic answers. Sometimes all I need is the quiet knowing that I am walking beside you, that even if I take a wrong turn, you are the shepherd who gently redirects, that even if I feel lost, I am never abandoned, that even if I stumble, your hand is already reaching before I fall. Thank you for being patient when I am slow to trust, when I ask for signs and confirmations as if your love was not enough, when I replay the same doubts over and over in my mind, as if your past faithfulness does not already speak loud enough. You could have turned away, but instead you stay. whispering again and again, "I am with you." I release the pressure to be perfect today. I release the burden of proving myself to anyone. I release the need to make everyone understand me. I release the idea that I need to know every step before I begin. Help me to be faithful in the small, steady things. Help me to show up with a heart open to your prompting and a spirit willing to respond, even when I am afraid. Sometimes what I need is not a new door, but a new heart toward the door that is already open. Sometimes the answer is not more clarity, but more courage. So breathe courage into me, the kind that does not need applause, the kind that moves even in the unseen, the kind that trusts that you go before me, and nothing that belongs to me will miss me, the kind that believes that you make all things work together for good, even when my eyes cannot see the full picture yet. If today brings challenge, let me not fear it. If it brings unexpected news, help me receive it with grace. If it brings delays, give me the patience to wait without complaining. And if it brings silence, remind me that even silence carries the sound of your shaping. I do not want to just survive the day. I want to move through it with grace, with focus, with the steady rhythm of someone who walks with God. Let me be slow to speak and quick to listen. Let me choose kindness even when it is not returned. Let me forgive even when the wound is still tender. Let me believe the best even when disappointment tries to cloud my faith. Let me be brave enough to be gentle, strong enough to be vulnerable, and wise enough to know that I do not have to carry everything by myself. You never asked me to be in control. You only asked me to trust. You did not ask me to have every answer, but to lean on the one who does. And so today, I bring you my fragile places, my hesitant steps, and my aching questions, not for you to fix instantly, but for you to walk with me through them. Because I know the journey is not just about where I am going, but who I am becoming as I go with you. I do not want to miss the beauty of the ordinary moments today, the warmth of the sun on my skin, the sound of laughter in the background, the breath in my lungs that means I get to try again. I do not want to overlook the grace that is hidden in the in-between. Help me to see with new eyes, to feel with a softened heart, to love without reservation. And when this day is done, let it not be marked by perfection, but by presence, by the evidence that I did not walk it alone, that somewhere in my steps, your hand was steadying mine, your whisper was directing my path, your peace was filling the gaps where fear tried to sneak in, and your love was the constant, unshakable truth anchoring me through it all. Let me not waste the waiting by filling it with worry. Let me bring it to you, raw and honest, and find peace even without the full picture. Help me see that what feels like delay is not denial, that the pause is not punishment, but preparation, that silence is not absence, but the space where trust grows. I know you are not a distant God. You are near, closer than the breath I breathe. And yet sometimes I feel far away from the warmth of your answers. And while I wait, let me not close my heart. Let me love while I wait. Let me serve while I wait. Let me grow even when I cannot go forward. There are moments when my heart wants to run ahead of your timing, to force answers where you have called me to rest. In this moment, I do not ask for instant solutions. I ask for a steady spirit while I wait. For clarity not just in direction, but in trust. Help me believe that what you are doing in me is just as important as what I am asking you to do for me. Give me patience, not just to endure, but to embrace the waiting seasons as sacred ground where faith is refined and dependence is deepened. Today, I come to you carrying the quiet H of waiting, not because I doubt your promises, but because the silence feels so loud sometimes. Teach me that waiting is not weakness when it is done leaning on you, and that strength is often found in surrender, not striving. Father, in the quiet unfolding of this new day, I bring to you the weight I have been silently carrying, the unseen struggles, the unspoken fears, the quiet tears that fall behind closed doors. You know every ache before I utter a word, every question I can frame, every hope I barely dare to hold. You see what others miss, so I come with nothing polished, nothing rehearsed, just the raw honesty of a soul in need of you. Help me not to hide behind strength when what I need most is surrender. Strip away the need to prove or to perform. Remind me that your love does not require me to earn it, that I can come tired, weary, doubting, grieving, and still be welcomed. Today, give me the courage to face what hurts without numbing it, the grace to feel without being crushed by it, and the faith to trust you even when the road twists in directions I never expected. You are still God even when life does not feel fair. You are still good even when my heart questions what good looks like. So I choose to lean into you not because I understand everything, but because I believe you hold everything. In my sorrow, meet me. In my confusion, steady me. In my loneliness, sit with me. In every place where my soul feels fractured, begin the gentle work of mending. You are not in a hurry, and I do not want to rush the healing you are doing in me. Teach me to breathe through the tension, to wait without giving up, to pray without needing a blueprint. I lay before you my timeline, my expectations, my pride. Exchange it for your presence, which is always better than clarity. Let me not chase certainty when you offer peace. Let me not chase control when you offer rest. And let this be the day I stop demanding answers and start trusting the author. Even when I walk through the valley, I will not fear, because you are with me, not watching from a distance, not waiting at the end, but walking every step beside me. Today, remind me that I am not what I have lost, not what I have failed, not what I fear. I am yours, and that alone is enough. Speak truth louder than the lies. Let your voice cut through the noise and call me back to stillness. I may not know what the next page holds, but I know the one who writes the story, and in that, I find my peace. Father, in this moment of stillness, as the world stirs with the breath of a new day, I turn to you with a heart cracked open, not by weakness, but by the longing to be shaped by your hands. The things I once clung to so tightly have begun to slip through my fingers, and instead of panic, I sense something unfamiliar but holy. Release. Father, teach me how to truly let go, not only of burdens I can name, but of the ones buried so deep. I have forgotten how much they weigh me down. You know the silent battles I fight, the fears I pretend do not exist, the expectations I exhaust myself trying to meet, the secret comparisons that steal joy from my soul. I confess, Lord, how often I grip what I should surrender. I have believed, wrongly, that if I hold on tighter, I will feel in control. But the more I cling, the more empty I feel. So here I am, not with polished words or confident plans, but with trembling hands stretched out to you. Let them be empty, so you can fill them. Help me to release the pain of the past, the words spoken in anger, the rejection that rewrote the way I see myself, the mistakes I revisit over and over as if punishing myself could somehow redeem them. Let me place them on the altar of your mercy and walk away lighter, freer, more open to the joy that I have unknowingly shut out. I cannot change the past, but you can transform its grip on me. I do not want to live from wounds anymore. I want to live from grace. And Lord, help me release the need to control what is ahead. I confess that I worry too much about the future, about things I cannot see, people I cannot predict, outcomes I cannot orchestrate. Teach me to live not by the fear of what might go wrong, but by faith in what you are already preparing. Let me stop rehearsing worst-case scenarios and start imagining the goodness you promise. Take the tight knots of anxiety in my stomach and untie them with your peace. Replace dread with trust. There are also people, Lord, relationships I have tried to fix, patterns I have tried to change, hearts I have tried to soften, and maybe I was never meant to carry them as mine to mend. Help me know the difference between love and control. Help me love without needing to be needed. Teach me to step back without stepping away, to pray without trying to play savior, to trust you with those I care about most. You love them even more than I do. Father, I even offer up my dreams today. The ones that excite me, the ones that scare me, the ones that have not happened yet, and the ones that may never happen the way I envisioned. I give them back to you, the author of all good things. Write your version of my story, not because I lack vision, but because I trust yours more. You see the whole map. I see only a step. Help me be faithful with that one step, even when I do not know where it leads. There is something sacred, Lord, about emptying my hands before you. It feels like falling at first, but you always catch. You always trade what is lesser for what is lasting. You never leave my soul bare. You clothe it in strength. So I lay it all down, not because I am giving up, but because I am giving it to you. Let this surrender be my strength. Let it be the soil where joy can grow again. Let it be the sound that quiets the noise of fear. Let it be the yes that opens doors I never knew were possible. As I release what I thought I had to carry, I make room for what you want to give. I make room for peace. I make room for hope. I make room for you. Heavenly Father, you know the weight I carry today before I even speak it aloud. The pressures, the expectations, the unspoken fears, I lay them at your feet now, not because I am strong, but because I am weary, and in my weariness, I find the courage to surrender. I do not have all the answers, and sometimes I do not even know the questions. But you, Lord, You are constant. You are unshaken by my confusion and unmoved by the storms that shake me. You stay. And that alone gives me reason to breathe deeply. In this stillness of morning, when the world has not yet demanded more than I can give, I choose to center myself in your presence. I choose to remember that I was not created to strive endlessly, to prove my worth through performance, or to find identity in outcomes. I was created to walk with you. And walking with you means I do not have to run ahead. It means I can take today one step at a time, hand in hand with peace. There are people I love who are hurting. Lord, there are situations I cannot control, no matter how desperately I try. I acknowledge the tension between my desire to fix everything and your invitation to trust you with everything. Teach me how to love without rescuing. Show me how to pray without taking on burdens that are not mine to carry. Give me discernment between what is mine to act upon and what is yours alone to redeem. I do not ask for perfection today. I ask for presence. Let my heart be sensitive to your whisper, even in the noise. Help me to notice the beauty in the mundane, the light that falls across the table, the sound of laughter, the pause between words when silence speaks more than sound ever could. Let me live today in awe, not because everything is easy, but because you are here. And when I fail, and I will remind me that grace is not something I earn back. It was never earned to begin with. It was a gift, freely given, with scars that proved love went farther than fear ever could. Let that grace meet me in my weakness, not to excuse my mistakes, but to transform them into new beginnings. There is a temptation in me to compare, to measure my life against others, and wonder if I have missed something. But comparison robs me of the sacredness of this moment. What you are doing in me is not less valuable just because it does not look like someone else's highlight reel. So today, I return to the truth that I am seen, loved, and called right where I am, with nothing to prove and nothing to hide. Even in my waiting, you are working. Even in silence, you are speaking. Even in setbacks, you are setting things right. I want to live with that kind of faith, not the kind that demands answers, but the kind that leans into mystery with trust, not blind trust, but rooted trust. Trust that remembers what you have done before and believes you will do it again. Help me to forgive where I have been holding on to bitterness. Bitterness does not protect me, it poisons me. And I do not want to carry that into another day. Loosen the grip of old grudges. Replace the resentment with release. And in the space where pain once sat, plant something new, something alive, with compassion and hope. Let my words carry healing today. Let my posture speak gentleness, even when I feel frustrated. Let my eyes see past the surface of people and into their worth. Let my hands be willing to serve without needing recognition. Let my presence be safe for others to rest in, even if they do not know why. Let me be light not because I shine, but because I reflect the one who does. I do not want to rush through this day as though it is something to conquer. I want to live it, to truly live it, to be awake to the divine interruptions and the sacred ordinary, to laugh fully and cry honestly, to pray without pretense and love without fear, to speak truth and receive it, even when it stings, to remember that joy is not an escape from suffering, but a declaration in spite of it. And when night comes and I look back at what unfolded, I do not need to see perfection, I need to see presence. Your presence in the hard conversation, in the pause before a decision, in the strength to say no, and in the courage to say yes. You will have been there, and that will be enough. This morning, I come before you with my heart wide open, not with lofty words or polished phrases, with the simple truth that I need you deeply to today. I do not want to pretend to be stronger than I am, nor do I want to hide the doubts that still whisper in the quiet corners of my soul. You see it all already, so there is no point in dressing it up. What I want, more than anything, is to be held by you, to walk through this day not afraid of what might come, not tangled up in fear or insecurity, but grounded in the unwavering certainty that you go with me, you go before me, and you are already where I am going. I need peace that goes beyond explanation, the kind that does not depend on circumstances, but flows from trust. Trust that you are not just a distant observer of my life, but an ever-present refuge. Remind me that my worth is not defined by how much I accomplish, how perfectly I perform, or how many people approve of me. My worth is anchored in something deeper, your unchanging love. Let that be enough today. Let it quiet the noise. Let it still the striving. Let it hold me steady when the winds of uncertainty blow. I need peace that goes beyond explanation, the kind that does not depend on circumstances, but flows from trust. Trust that you are not just a distant observer of my life, but an ever-present refuge. Remind me that my worth is not defined by how much I accomplish, how perfectly I perform, or how many people approve of me. My worth is anchored in something deeper, your unchanging love. Let that be enough today. Let it quiet the noise. Let it still the striving. Let it hold me steady when the winds of uncertainty blow. I need peace that goes beyond explanation, the kind that does not depend on circumstances, but flows from trust. Trust that you are not just a distant observer of my life, but an ever-present refuge. Remind me that my worth is not defined by how much I accomplish, how perfectly I perform, or how many people approve of me. My worth is anchored in something deeper, your unchanging love. Let that be enough today. Let it quiet the noise. Let it still the striving. Let it hold me steady when the winds of uncertainty blow. I need peace that goes beyond explanation, the kind that does not depend on circumstances, but flows from trust. Trust that you are not just a distant observer of my life, but an ever-present refuge. Remind me that my worth is not defined by how much I accomplish, how perfectly I perform, or how many people approve of me. My worth is anchored in something deeper, your unchanging love. Let that be enough today. Let it quiet the noise. Let it still the striving. Let it hold me steady when the winds of uncertainty blow. I need peace that goes beyond explanation, the kind that does not depend on circumstances, but flows from trust. Trust that you are not just a distant observer of my life, but an ever-present refuge. Remind me that my worth is not defined by how much I accomplish, how perfectly I perform, or how many people approve of me. My worth is anchored in something deeper, your unchanging love. Let that be enough today. Let it quiet the noise. Let it still the striving. Let it hold me steady when the winds of uncertainty blow. I need peace that goes beyond explanation, the kind that does not depend on circumstances, but flows from trust. Trust that you are not just a distant observer of my life, but an ever-present refuge. Remind me that my worth is not defined by how much I accomplish, how perfectly I perform, or how many people approve of me. My worth is anchored in something deeper, your unchanging love. Let that be enough today. Let it quiet the noise. Let it still the striving. Let it hold me steady when the winds of uncertainty blow. I need peace that goes beyond explanation, the kind that does not depend on circumstances, but flows from trust. Trust that you are not just a distant observer of my life, but an ever-present refuge. Remind me that my worth is not defined by how much I accomplish, how perfectly I perform, or how many people approve of me. My worth is anchored in something deeper, your unchanging love. Let that be enough today. Let it quiet the noise. Let it still the striving. Let it hold me steady when the winds of uncertainty blow. I need peace that goes beyond explanation, the kind that does not depend on circumstances, but flows from trust. Trust that you are not just a distant observer of my life, but an ever-present refuge. Remind me that my worth is not defined by how much I accomplish, how perfectly I perform, or how many people approve of me. My worth is anchored in something deeper, your unchanging love. Let that be enough today. Let it quiet the noise. Let it still the striving. Let it hold me steady when the winds of uncertainty blow. I need peace that goes beyond explanation, the kind that does not depend on circumstances, but flows from trust. Trust that you are not just a distant observer of my life, but an ever-present refuge. Remind me that my worth is not defined by how much I accomplish, how perfectly I perform, or how many people approve of me. My worth is anchored in something deeper, your unchanging love. Let that be enough today. Let it quiet the noise. Let it still the striving. Let it hold me steady when the winds of uncertainty blow. Dear Heavenly Father, in the quiet rhythm of this morning, I return once again to the center of your presence, where stillness replaces the noise of fear, and your peace silences the chaos within. There is no hiding from you, Lord. You see every flicker of doubt, every whisper of weariness in my heart. And yet, you meet me not with condemnation, but with compassion that steadies my trembling spirit. My soul stretches toward you like a parched land awaiting rain, thirsty for the depth of your voice and the warmth of your reassurance. Father, I do not ask for comfort without purpose, nor for success without struggle. I ask for clarity where confusion lingers, and courage where shadows of uncertainty fall. I bring to you all the burdens I have attempted to carry alone, the invisible weights, the aching hopes, the dreams I have quietly buried beneath daily demands. Nothing is hidden from you, not even the parts of me I fear most. And still, you do not turn away, you draw closer. In this moment, I realize I do not need to have it all together to come before you. You are not asking for perfection, only permission to enter, to restore, to breathe life into every part of me that has grown tired or numb. So, Lord, here I am again, raw and open, asking you to help me begin today not with panic, but with praise, not with fear, but with faith. Let my heart beat in step with yours, unhurried by anxiety, unshaken by the things I cannot control. There is no ground more sacred than the one beneath my knees, when I kneel in surrender, no silence more holy than the one in which I listen for your whisper. And so, I ask you to speak, Lord. Speak into the places where my thoughts spiral and my confidence falters. Remind me that even when I do not see the way forward, you are already there, preparing paths and lighting steps. Remind me that waiting with you is never wasted time, and that silence with you is still filled with presence. I confess, Father, I have tried to rush what was meant to unfold in trust. I have tried to force answers when you were teaching me to wait. I have feared outcomes that never came to pass, and in doing so, I missed the peace of simply being with you. But here, in this pause, I choose again to lean not on my understanding, but on your unchanging truth. Your promises have never failed, and they will not begin to fail now. Let me rise from this time with you not just inspired, but transformed. Let the fruit of this moment be seen not in loud declarations, but in quiet strength, in patience that holds its ground, in kindness that costs something, in love that mirrors the love I receive from you. Help me walk through this day aware, not just of the obstacles before me, but of the grace that walks beside me. Let that awareness anchor me, calm me, shape me. Father, teach me to find wonder in the ordinary, the sunrise that greets me, the breath in my lungs, the steady beat of life continuing despite the storms. Let me not overlook the blessings because they feel familiar. Let me not forget the miracles because they arrive in quiet, faithful ways. Help me notice the small mercies that whisper of your goodness, the smile of a stranger, the warmth of a cup held between my hands, the sound of someone calling my name in love. As I continue this day, may I carry the memory of this moment like a candle in the dark, a reminder that no matter what the hours ahead may bring, I have already been here with you, and that changes everything. I have already opened my heart and been heard. I have already admitted my weakness and been held. I have already laid down the day ahead, and in doing so, received more than I could ever carry on my own. And so I walk forward, Lord, not fearless, but with faith, not unshaken, but upheld. I walk into the unknown knowing that you are the same yesterday, today, and always. You are not watching from a distance. You are moving within, working through, and covering all that lies ahead. Nothing I face today is greater than your power. Nothing I fear today is stronger than your presence. Nothing I endure today is outside the reach of your love. Father, as I breathe in the stillness that lingers from our last moment together, I realize how deeply I need to carry this sense of you into every step I take. What began as a whisper between us in the early hush of the day now grows into a steady rhythm in my chest, beating alongside each choice, each interaction, each moment that asks something of me. You are not only the God of my quiet mornings, but the God of my crowded days, my unexpected detours, my long hours, and even my tears. And I want to know how to hold on to you, not only when I am kneeling, but when I am running, stumbling, or simply standing still, Lord, help me to listen for you in the noise, not just in the sacred spaces, but in the interruptions, in the tension, in the challenge to remain soft when I feel hardened. Show me how to carry your gentleness into conflict, your clarity into confusion, and your patience into pressure. Let me not compartmentalize our communion into moments of silence alone, but let your presence saturate everything I do. From the conversations I speak to the thoughts I do not share with anyone else. God, sometimes I forget how powerful it is to pause, how healing it is to return to you throughout the day, not with long words, but with honest ones, a sigh, a whisper, a glance toward heaven. You are not far from me, and I do not need to perform for your attention, just as I am. In the mess and in the beauty, I am yours, and that truth steadies me like nothing else can. There are days when I do not feel strong enough to be the friend, the parent, the partner, the worker, the dreamer I hope to be. Days when my best feels small. But even then, you remind me that being enough was never about my output, but about my belonging. I am not valuable because I am impressive. I am valuable because I am yours. So today, let me serve not from striving, but from love. Let me show up not for approval, but from overflow. Let me speak not to be heard, but to uplift. Father, I bring before you now those I love and carry in my heart. You know each name, each story, each silent burden they are too tired to say aloud. Wrap them in the same peace I feel with you now. Be the strength in their weariness, the light in their uncertainty, the stillness in their chaos. Where I cannot reach them, you can. Where I cannot fix, you can restore. I entrust them into the hands that have never failed to hold what I release. Teach me to be present, truly present, in the moments that unfold, not caught in regrets of the past or the what-ifs of the future, but anchored in the now, where you are actively at work. Let me not miss the holy because I was distracted by the hurry. Open my eyes to wonder to the ordinary miracles I rush past. The way light filters through a window, the laughter of someone nearby, the gift of breathing without pain, the fact that I am still here, still held, still invited to live. Lord, give me wisdom not only for decisions, but for discernment to know what deserves my energy and what I must gently release. Show me how to respond instead of react, how to choose grace when my emotions flare, and how to find your voice when mine feels unsure. Help me walk slowly enough to notice people, to ask how they really are, and mean it. Let my presence be a place of peace, not pressure. If I face resistance today, may it build my resilience. If I encounter disappointment, may it teach me compassion. If I feel unseen, may I remember you see everything. And if I falter, remind me that falling is not failure, it is a human step toward deeper dependence on you. You are not disappointed in my weakness. You meet me there with mercy, again and again, writing grace into the cracks of my attempts. As the hours move forward, Father, keep me tender. Keep my heart from becoming hard, cynical, or closed. Let me weep if I need to, laugh when I can, and always return to you, whether in joy or exhaustion. My strength is not in pretending to be invincible, but in being honest enough to need you constantly. You are the breath behind my courage, the light beneath my shadow, the anchor under my every wave. And so, I walk again with you into the day's unknowns, not seeking control, but connection, not demanding answers, but trusting presence, not rushing to the next thing, but listening for the sacred in this thing, because you are already here, already whispering, already weaving meaning through even the messiest threads. I do not walk alone, and I never have. Heavenly Father, this journey of quiet surrender, spoken one breath at a time, has brought me here to this final page, yet not a final moment. Because you, Lord, are not a destination I arrive at, but a presence I live in. And even as these words approach their end, my spirit leans further in. You have drawn near not just through comfort, but through truth, through stillness, through every vulnerable word I did not know I had the courage to say. You have been the listener behind every line, the breath between every thought, the holy silence that gave my cries a place to land. As I reflect on every chapter of this prayerful walk, I do not only see the pain I poured out or the questions I brought to you. I see how you met me in them. I see how you stitched light into the seams of my sorrow. I see how you stood patient while I struggled with doubt. I see how you held space when I'd know how to believe, how you stayed even when I wavered. And now, I do not feel ashamed for my need. I feel honored that I get to need you. What an extraordinary gift it is to be fully known, fully loved, and never abandoned. I look back at the moments when I almost gave up and realize it was never my strength that got me through, it was yours. You were the unseen steadiness under my chaos, the whisper that told me to try again, the grace that covered what I could not fix. I see how you worked quietly, behind the scenes, beneath the surface, in the places I did not even pray about. And now I understand more clearly. Faith is not about always feeling certain. It is about choosing to stay in conversation with you, even when I do not have the answers. You have not promised me a path without hardship, but you have promised you would never let me walk it alone. You have not erased my sorrow, but you have walked with me through it, teaching me that even in the valley, I can sing. Even in the waiting, I can grow. Even in the loss, there is something you are shaping that I cannot yet see. My circumstances may change, but your love does not. My world may shift, but your heart stays steady. And in that constancy, I find peace, not because everything makes sense, but because I am held by the one who holds everything. So now, Lord, I want to live this day with open hands. I do not ask for perfection. I do not ask for comfort alone. I ask for presence. Yours. Let me remember you in the small pauses, in the choices I usually rush through, in the moments I might otherwise ignore. Help me carry this prayer into the living, not as a performance, but as a pulse. Let these words not remain here, confined to quiet spaces, but let them shape how I speak, how I listen, how I love, how I forgive. Let me be a reflection of the grace I have received. Let others see not someone who is flawless, but someone who is learning, yielding, healing, someone who rises not because of pride, but because of hope. Let my story be one that says, even the broken can be beautiful when held in the hands of the one who restores. Let my actions speak when my words fall short, and let my heart stay soft enough to change when you gently lead me another way. Father, as the light of morning gently fills the sky, may your light gently fill my soul. As the wind stirs through the trees, may your spirit stir something in me that does not settle for numbness or fear. As the water flows quietly down a stream, may peace flow through me, calming the voices of panic, loosening the grip of control. Teach me to be content not because I have everything I want, but because I walk with the one who is everything I need. To everyone who has walked this journey alongside me, thank you. Thank you for showing up not just with your time, but with your heart. Thank you for listening when the words grew heavy, for staying when it felt too quiet, for letting these prayers find a home inside your own longing. Your presence has made this more than a monologue. It has become communion. You have given weight and witness to every word. If something here touched you, if a line echoed your soul, if a silence helped you breathe again, I invite you to share. Let your voice rise among ours. Let your prayer be heard too. Your story matters. Your faith matters. Your questions are not a burden, they are a bridge. Write them below. Speak them aloud. Be part of this unfolding faith that continues even when this chapter closes. And if this space has become sacred to you, if these prayers have anchored your mornings or reignited your belief, I gently ask you to help carry it further. Subscribe to this channel so we can keep walking together. Share this video with someone who needs light. Return each day not to repeat words, but to deepen the conversation. Keep your heart open. Keep your faith alive. Keep choosing to begin again. Because even when this voice grows quiet, even when this moment ends, the journey with God never does. There will always be new mornings, new mercies, new whispers waiting in the quiet. And somewhere, just beyond this final word, the sunlight is already breaking through the trees. A breeze moves softly across the earth. The river keeps flowing. And grace, unending, meets you there.